Imagine you have run your business successfully for like 25 years.
Right, a really solid run.
Yeah, exactly. You have $15 million in steady, reliable revenue.
Yeah.
Your broker looks at everything and says, you're ready to go to
Your
market?
best feeling in the world.
Oh, totally. You are expecting an $8 million payout. But then the buyer's due diligence team comes in and, well, they don't offer you $8 million, they offer you $4 million.
Ouch. Yeah, that is a devastating 50% discount.
It really is. So welcome to this deep dive on the Transfer Ready by Succession Strength podcast, where we are exposing the hidden operational liabilities that basically destroy a business's value right when it is time to sell.
And it is a brutal reality check, but I mean, we see it all the time. Growth without documented processes and scalable infrastructure is just fragile. It is completely unsustainable.
That's the part I really want to dig into, because the owner in this scenario, the one who took a $4 million haircut, obviously thought everything was fine.
Right, the profits were there.
Exactly. So how does a successful owner become so blind to structural flaws that a buyer just spots immediately?
Because, well, the owner's looking at the scoreboard, right, while the buyer is actually inspecting the foundation. When you are running the company day to day, you just rely on workarounds.
Yeah, you just make it work.
Exactly. You assume that because the business generates cash, it's a well-run machine. But buyers aren't paying for your past revenue. They are paying for the future transferability of those cash flows.
Right. The buyer's looking at it and thinking, can I actually run this thing without you?
Yep.
It's almost like playing Jenga.
Yeah.
You know exactly which pieces not to touch so the whole tower doesn't fall. But to a buyer, it just looks like a highly wobbly structure waiting to collapse.
That Jenga tower analogy is spot on. And, it isn't just an issue for legacy businesses either.
Oh, really?
No, not at all. We recently looked at a tech company that actually doubled its revenue in just 3 years.
Wow, that is incredible top-line growth.
It was. But behind the scenes, it was a disaster. Their service quality was dropping, their employees were completely burned out, and the infrastructure just, it wasn't scalable.
Because they were sprinting so fast, they never wrote down how the engine actually worked.
Precisely. And when they finally went to sell, buyers saw that chaos and discounted their valuation by 30%.
Man, that hurts.
It does. Whether you've been in business for 3 years or 25, a buyer is always hunting for critical failure points.
And what stands out to me is that these risks, they don't show up on a P&L.
No, they don't.
We're talking about things like severe owner dependency, right? Where the business is totally paralyzed the second the owner's phone is turned off.
Oh, absolutely. Or extreme customer concentration. Like if your revenue is heavily tied to just 2 major accounts and one leaves after the acquisition, well, the business goes under.
Yeah, you're sunk.
Then you have undocumented processes where the operational knowledge lives entirely inside your employees' heads and zero contingency planning.
Which makes you realize something pretty terrifying. A workflow that only succeeds because one guy knows a mental shortcut isn't a process at all.
Right.
It's a single point of failure. If that capability walks out the door, the buyer is basically paying for an empty shell.
That is exactly why that 25-year owner got hit with the 50% discount. The buyer saw the empty shell. But the story actually didn't end there.
Oh, it didn't.
No. Instead of taking the $4 million out of frustration, the owner stepped back. He used a structured risk assessment to strip himself out of the equation and evaluate the company exactly the way a buyer would.
Okay. And what did he find when he took that objective look?
The assessment flagged 14 specific gaps.
Wait, 14 major structural gaps.
14. Across leadership, operations, customers, and finance.
If I'm the owner, I'm panicking at that point. Does a buyer even stick around after seeing a list of red flags that long?
No, he had to pull the business off the market entirely.
Wow.
Yeah, he had to roll up his sleeves and actually fix the foundation. Closing those 14 gaps took him 12 months of hard work.
That sounds exhausting after 25 years of grinding.
It really was. He had to document those mental shortcuts, build out management layers, diversify his client base. But by putting in that year of work to make the business truly scalable, he went back to market and secured offers between $7 million and $8 million.
That is a massive turnaround.
It is. The delay cost him a year, sure, but selling early at that initial offer would have cost him millions.
So you cannot just guess what a buyer is going to find during due diligence. You have to measure it yourself first.
Exactly.
Positioning a business transition readiness assessment as your first step allows you to measure your operational infrastructure before you go to market.
Because once you know where the cracks are, you have a roadmap, right? He
Yeah.
can fix them before they become deal breakers that cost you half your life's work.
That makes perfect sense. So, look at your own daily operations today. What silent workarounds are currently holding your business together that an outsider would view as a massive red flag? Visit successionstrengths.com or email info@successionstrengths.com to assess your operational readiness. Follow the Transfer Ready by Succession Strength podcast.